This is the North Georgia Life Podcast. Embrace life where you live. Welcome to the North Georgia Life Podcast. It's Jake, your host, and I won't belabor the introduction. I'm just going to tell you, this episode was so much fun. I don't know if you've ever met or had any time spent with a full-blooded Italian, but they are some of the most fun, energetic, and just great people to be around. So today I'm with Andrea, who is with Alta Cucina Italia. That is like the best American Italian you'll ever hear. I should be on Saturday Night Live with that accent. Anyway, she is the founder and maker of her product line of all sorts of different Italian condiments and salts and pestos and sauces and oils and balsamics. It's absolutely amazing. She is at about 150 different retailers around the U.S. She has been at 2 of the episodes that I've done already. And after the first one, Jumping Goat Coffee Roasters in Cleveland, I was like, I've got to find this person. Then I found her with Nora Lee. Nora's at the Swanee Whole Life Group. She sells her products too, and I tracked her down, and this is a really, really fun episode. The website is AltaCucina. If you're a kind of ignorant American like me, and she says cucina, you don't know how to spell that, so you have a hard time Googling that online. So it's so that's the proper spelling. Hey, if you've got episodes, ideas for future episodes that you'd like to hear more about the story or the backstory or, a restaurant, you just want to hear more about what they got to offer, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or you can email us. It's northgeorgialifepodcast@gmail.com, the same handle on Facebook and Instagram. And hey, for the new year, what I'm finding is I'm running into a lot of people that are starting to find out about the podcast, and everybody has the same general idea. Everybody has said this is such a good thing for our region of the world, and if you're enjoying it, if you're getting something out of it, would you share it with your coworkers, your friends, people in your office, that sort of thing, and just help more people get more connected with where they live. With that, we'll get started. Welcome to the North Georgia Life Podcast. It's Jake, your host, and I have an episode today that I am super excited about. I have identified over the course of the new year that I get extremely excited about episodes that involve good food or things that taste really good, and this is no exception. So I am here today with Adriana with Alta Cucina Italia. Is that correct?
Yes, perfect.
I nailed it. So it's typical Americans trying to butcher everything that's in a foreign language. She has such a great story that we're going to share with you today, but her products have been at 2 different episodes that I've already recorded. And the first one was at Jumping Goat Coffee Roasters in Cleveland. And if you've not gone up there to get their coffee or just ordered it online, you can order it online. I know some of you are thinking, I don't know good coffee. I know great coffee. We gave this away this Christmas to some friends and family for Christmas gifts, and we have completely ruined at least one of them who said that they cannot drink other coffee anymore, that they have now tasted the standard, and it is at Jumping Goat. So I was introduced to her products there, some of the balsamics, and we have shared them with several people that have come over to eat, and we've put them on different things from chicken to grilled vegetables and things like that, and everybody's expression the first time they taste it is the same. It's like someone grabbed their tongue. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to describe it. The things that you've bought in the grocery store that are similar in the family of balsamics, it's like you vaguely recognize the taste at this point because her products are so far out front in terms of the quality and the potency and the flavor of everything that you're eating that you don't really know how to compare it. So I say that without the slightest hint of building this up into something that is not going to fulfill what I'm saying. So I'm excited because in the process of getting to here, I discovered that you have far more products than just what I saw that one day. And then I saw them again at the Swanee Whole Life Market with Nora Lee, which we did a couple months ago. And so I'm like, I've got to get in front of this person. So we are here today, and she has a really great story of where she came from, and just the product line that she has is amazing. So Adriana, thank you for being here today.
No, thank you.
So you are a full-blooded Italian.
Yes.
And you have been a kind of world traveler.
Yes.
So take us through. You grew up where? You grew up in Italy.
No, my family is from Italy. However, my father was in the restaurant business, and he is he was from Capri. It's an island, so it's only tourists. They live from the tourists. So they work like crazy during summer with all the tourists, but then winter comes and nobody. Everybody's gone because even the people there go to other places to work. So he used to go in winter like to New York, Palm Beach here, went to Argentina until he arrived to Venezuela. It was the big boom for the petroleum, the oil there. And he loved it because he didn't have the stations. It's all the time like summer, spring kind of. And he was near the ocean, so he moved us over there. So I grew up. I went to a school and college in Venezuela, Caracas, and yeah. But I have been all around. I guess it's from my family.
So when you grew up, did you help out in the kitchen? Was that where you got your cooking genes from?
Well, being my father from a restaurant business, he was like really picky. Well, Italians are kind of picky with their food, they don't. But then he was in the restaurant and high-end restaurants, so he was kind of really picky with the food. So my mom, I mean, she all the time tried to do, the best and everything. So I kind of like learned, with her and then my mom was all the time with us. And so most of the day we were just, like cooking and stuff like that. In Italian families, that's how we like gather. I mean, my mom said we have a living room, we have a dining room, but everybody all the time finish in the kitchen, So it's like all the family life goes there. So actually, yeah, I think since little, I mean, being my father in that business, my uncles, everybody from my family have been in the restaurant business. And my mom is really good cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's how I got everything. Yeah.
And the products that you're making now, was that something you learned growing up, or did you create those flavors and concoctions along the way?
That's funny because most of the only things that I knew, the olive oils, the infused, and the tomato sauce. But actually, the tomato sauce come much far away. I mean, I start first with the olive oil, and then going to the farmer's market, I start with the infused olive oils, and people didn't know how to use them. So they said, oh, yeah, for the dipping, I see this in, I don't know, X restaurant, whatever, but, they put it with bread and they have herbs. I said, what is that? Because we don't do the dipping. I mean, we put extra virgin olive oil and sometimes some black pepper or Parmesan and then with some bread, but we don't do the dipping. I said, what is that? So I start, asking about it, and everybody just start doing with this dipping oils. I said, what is? I said, okay. So my basil, my infused olive oil didn't sell as much because a lot of people, I realize or I find out with time in doing the farmers market, that people, they don't cook that much from scratch, but they do more like easy stuff or for entertainment and stuff like that. So I started wondering what is it. And then I figured out where they were. I said, well, we don't have that, but you like that? That's what everybody's asking? Here you go. So I started making that. And then the balsamics, I have a recipe we have used all the time, but just the crema balsamica, just the reduction of balsamic vinegar. And a lot of people, again, on the market, farmers market, oh, yeah, because, they put that and they put a little bit of the balsamic and stuff like that. So I say, so it was like, I love farmers market because you have contact with the people and they give you the feedback, and companies pay to have a how you say, a feedback, or to
focus groups and research.
Research and see what the market's like or whatever, but nothing better than farmers market.
That's right.
And then you learn English by free too. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of my products came from my customers, from what they were looking for, what they like. Preference, they're different, like everywhere. Even when I do farmers market in Marietta, they like one product. In Sandy Spring, they didn't sell that product, but another one they didn't sell Marietta. So even in the same Atlanta area, I mean, people, I don't know, it's kind of funny, but it's weird. So I start a lot of my products used for people. And then I start with the crema balsamica. And the funny thing...
Which is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, my gosh, it's so good.
That was actually my family recipe.
That is a family recipe, okay.
But the rest, it just come from, I don't know how you say, circumstance or fate. I don't know how you want to call it.
Trial and error.
Yeah. Well, I was in the kitchen. I have to make the products in a facility that have goes with regulation, but FDA and Georgia Department of Agriculture. So I didn't know where I was going with this business, so I rent a share kitchen, a space, and I was making my products. The funny thing is there were a lot of entrepreneurs or people, small business starting like me. So everybody was doing the stuff, and then the manager of the kitchen say there were some caterers.
Caterers.
Yes. So they have a lot of orange. For a school, they didn't, I don't know what happened, but they say, you want orange because we need to draw them. I say, that's a waste. No.
Yep.
And then she say, what about balsamic with orange?
Oh.
And I say, what? Yeah, let's. So I stopped, and then I just went to the farmer's market next weekend with orange balsamic. Everybody loved it. So I say, wow. Then, later after that, she have strawberries. Really? Let's try it. And then, wow. So that's how actually I came with, I arrived to 20 flavors, different flavors of balsamic, just for that. Even some people say, well, now I need to make a line with jalapeno because somebody told me, that would be awesome. I said, I'm going to make one for you.
Yeah.
So my recipe was like a few, but then hearing the people and what they like, I try, my customers are the best. I love them.
Yeah.
And I try to please them as much as I can. So
did the lemon one come by the same process? Because the lemon one is amazing.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah.
I've told families that have kids, like all kids, that don't like eating vegetables. I said, get some of the lemon balsamic and put it on it. It tastes like lemon icing. They'll think they're getting
cake.
dessert.
You have to try it over cake.
Put lemon
pound cake.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'd make a pound cake and put some fresh blueberries, and that on top. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, everything. Yeah, it started like that. Actually.
But it's healthy for you. It's like you're making them out of good products.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great because what happened was a lot of people. We don't have, like I was telling you before. We don't have here in America. I don't know what happened, but we don't have time for anything. It's all the time we're busy running from one place, so we don't have too much time. So sometimes we don't have time to even learn new recipes. But just making the same recipe, making the same chicken, for example. Today you put it with crema balsamica. Tomorrow the same recipe, you switch it with lemon balsamic. Completely another thing.
Right.
And it's the same.
Right.
Yeah. So just switching, use the product, you just change completely your recipe without big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing.
What products were first? Did you start with the crema balsamic, or did you? So you've got salt mixtures, you've got all sorts of different products now.
Yeah.
What was the progression of the product line? Did you just you add a few here and there just as people are asking about them, because I didn't know you had the full gamut of the products that you did until I went on your website. The retailers that you're distributing to them, like you've got things that are, I mean, you could get a gift set. I mean, because the presentation is fantastic because it looks like it should be in a Restoration Hardware or, one of those higher end gift shops, but they're way better than anything you can get at a store. And the product line is like, you could, if all you had was 6 or 8 of these products, you could probably mix and match a menu for a better part of a month, just throwing fish and chicken and all these different things. So where did all those different product lines come from?
Yeah. Well, when I start here, actually the story comes, I came here to the United States because I was going we have a pizzeria in Italy, and we were like following the American dream to do the pizzeria here. And long story short, I don't know how you say it. Meanwhile, the regulation, the laws, we find, location.
Yeah.
I didn't know the best place in Atlanta, didn't know anything. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to start with the olio santo. Olio santo is the red hot pepper, the oil that you put all the time, the tables in Italy, in the pizzeria, because when people want something with a kick to it, they just put that on top. Especially in the South, we eat with a lot of pepperoncino, the red hot pepper. So I say that, but even to do that, I need to have a kitchen to make those. So the funny thing, I start with that, and then, like I was telling you, meeting other people, my English was zero, nothing. So they told me about farmers market, because I don't know if people are gonna like it. Well, actually, I went with that. The basil, the one we cook all the time with basil, but basil we don't have it in winter, so we have to infuse it so we have the flavor in our cooking. In winter, the garlic, the rosemary, and as I told you, when I started going to the farmers market. So that's how I start adding more the dipping oils. Then it became the balsamic vinegars. Then when I have that, I start enjoying so much my customers and talking to them and talking about, dish and stuff like that. And I say, I want to give it more to them, because they talk, when I went to Italy, and they talk with a passion. And I say, and they all the time ask me for a good restaurant. I say, I really don't know, because I never go out, because I cook home. That's the best place I can be. And so I just say, let me do a small batch, to see. And they love it. So I start with the tomato sauce, the traditional tomato sauce my mom makes since, I don't know, forever. And they love it.
Yeah.
But then everybody said the marinara. I say, well, the marinara is the one only you put in pizza, but here marinara, they say like tomato sauce for pasta. And I say, no, it's okay, you want the marinara? So I create the marinara. And then, people, and then I say, well, I love alla norma with eggplant. I love with black olive and capers. That's typical from the South. So that's how I start adding more stuff, I enjoy seeing. For me, the most gratification is seeing the customers, like you were talking right now, is just having their eyes pop, or or their surprise or amazed face they put when they taste some of the product. There is no money that can buy that.
Yes, and that's we were talking about before. So many of us just don't have time, and so you go with what's quick and easy.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like people who move to a new place that don't know anything, you just go with what's closest or most familiar or cheapest. Yeah. And then when you taste something that is really good, it's like, where has this been?
Yeah.
And in so many of the products that we see in grocery stores, and I'm no different than anybody else. You start looking and you kind of know the category of what you're looking for, and then ultimately you gravitate towards what looks like it's buy one get one free or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go and you have something like this, and you've got pestos and stuff like that, which I imagine your pesto is like out of sight. Like,
I need to give you one. Yeah.
So, and then like we were talking about with coffee, I put my used to put coffee or sugar and cream in my coffee because I was drinking bad coffee, and I didn't know I was drinking bad coffee until I started drinking good coffee. And then when you drink good coffee, you're like, oh, this actually tastes good. It's smooth. It doesn't feel like someone's punching you in the face when you drink it.
You don't have to put so much.
You don't have to put anything in it because you've got a better product that you're putting in your body. But especially with foods and some of the sauces, because there's so much flavor that you're going to add, one to your palate, but also your food, where you don't have to know how to be the next Bobby Flay. You can, if you know how to cook something to the right temperature, and then you throw some of these sauces or mixtures or balsamics on it. Now you've got like a 4 or 5 star meal.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was go and get the other product. How long have you been making these products? When did you start?
I arrived to the United States 10 years ago, and I started around June.
Okay.
Because I was trying to figure out all the laws or whatever. My English was, it's still not good, but before was zero. So that's how I started in the kitchen. I started making that. And I think I stayed like 1 year making that, the olive oils. And then I start adding the balsamic. And then when I start getting meeting the customers, start doing the tomato sauce. So I start with 1, I finish with 5.
So you have 5 right now.
Well, I actually back up. I'm trying to back up a little bit because I was like, I went to jams even. I was like, spending, but it's hard for you to keep, especially when you're a small business, enough inventory or stock of everything, especially because I do it in small batches, so it's really hard to keep up with sales with everything that a small business you have to. I do everything: the delivery, the buyer, and the everything.
Right.
So I started backing up and just leaving the most seller ones because it was. The more I start adding after the tomatoes, I have 5. So I start with the pestos.
Yeah.
So then I finished with 5 pestos.
Oh, wow.
And then I said, well, you know what? Let's do some balsamic jams. So I start with balsamic jams. So I finished with 5. Like 5 is like my number. And then, okay, I need to do something.
Yeah.
And then I start with the latest one was the chutney. It was the Vidalia, Vidalia onion balsamic. Jam that actually was a finalist in Flavor of Georgia and was the Good Food Award winner 2018. So it just, so I start trying, I stay there, and then I start needing to back up a little bit because if not, I cannot continue having all these products, tomato sauce, pesto, jam, how like 5 or 10 of different.
Too many varieties.
Yes. And then going to the next products I wanna develop. So I've been backing up a little bit and just trying to keep it more simple.
Yeah.
Then after 10 years, you start getting also your body start like, okay, you're not young that much like before. Yeah.
Yes. What's been the most challenging part of what your journey so far doing this?
My English, definitely, yes.
Just the communication gap?
The communication, because with the customers, when I'm face-to-face with them, the farmer's market is really easy and I love them. It's something, But when you start going, you start growing and you start going like to shows, like Grand Prize Flavor of Georgia in 2015 with the Georgia blueberry balsamic. And I start going, they invite you to different part of the prize is going to several shows and stuff like that. And then you meet, big like Publix, Kroger, supermarkets. Right. It was hard for me to arrive to, that communication. And then when you have to sign contract and stuff like that, it's not the daily language. It's more... And then when customer call me on the phone, I think you saw that. Sometimes I don't understand that well on the phone. Or they don't understand me because it's not the same when you talk face to face that you see expression, whatever. Right. And then when I try to reach new customer, it was the same because just to say, Adriana, what? ADR, okay. Last name Coppola. What? Okay, COP, Alta, what? So by the end, you finish spelling your name, last name, name of the company. Okay, bye. You're really tired. So I think most of my challenge have been that. The other thing is to educate people, because sometimes people say, well, I can go over there and it's cheaper, but you don't know the ingredients you're getting.
Yes.
You don't know the process, how you doing in bulk, or
Right.
So that's another, I think, big challenge here, that a lot of people goes for the money, and you have sometimes, like you say, your body gratificates you when you eat well, when you
Right.
eat healthy, that when you eat something heavy or something too processed or with preservative and all that stuff, your body feels that,
Yeah.
So I think those are being my most biggest challenge
Yeah.
here to,
If you had to start over again, would you do anything differently as far as progression, timing, product line?
hard to say it, because it have been a journey, and it have been an amazing journey. So I think I am where I am today thanks to all that. So I really even didn't thought about doing this. So it's like life took me there, So I don't know if I should do the same or not. It just start, everything just start coming in, and just opportunities. And I don't know, but I would say I would keep it more simple. Like I won't spread that much, because that was another challenge, to keep with so much stock.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the people, were going to ask you, and then you have to have everything fresh. So you have to do a small batch. So I think I will keep it more.
Yeah. Kind of keep the variety smaller.
Yeah. I love to spoil people. So you want this? Okay, the customer was lying jalapeno. I'm gonna get that for you. So I just continue, just going and going. Yeah.
Yeah. Any best memories, best stories from having done this?
My farmers market.
Yeah.
My customers. I mean, just the time we share about them, and then like I have one customer that started with one of my first farmers market in Dunwoody, and the little girl, she was like 1 year or something, and she said, "Oh, don't." She wants something, and they say to mom, like crying that she wants some, and I said, "I don't think she's gonna like that. That's balsamic." And then she was like, she loved it. And now the girl just, she walk and she come by herself to the table to me, and just meeting those kids and growing them, seeing them growing and keeping my customers. I think that's the most gratification, most nice thing. Another thing was funny. When I was on Flavor of Georgia, here in Georgia, they speak really Southern.
Yes.
My English I only have like 4 years here, so it was not the most one. So I went with the manager of the kitchen, and I was joking because was the governor, Georgia governors, and then was
Nathan
Gary
Deal?
Black, and then was Commissioner Black was there, and they doing in this big agriculture day, the big competition that where they choose the winners, the jurors, stuff like that. So when they finish that, they call and we sit down. They start calling the winners, and they were talking. And I say to Janet, to the manager, I say, "You have to tell me." I was joking. If they call me, just let me know, because I don't understand anything they're saying. So the funny thing is that then they called me because I was the winner of my category, and she was like. And I said, yeah. And then everybody, okay. I said, oh, yeah. So I went there. Oh, yeah, it was me. And then I sit down and just I start, so happy, taking pictures, sending to my brother, sending to my friend, look what I want. And then she started doing like that. But she's really funny. She's all the time
hilarious.
teasing with me. And I say, yeah, sure. She started think up, go. I said, yeah, sure. And then I saw everybody start looking at me. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I saw the people, the guy calling and looking at me, staring at me, and I said, what? yes, go, you win. And because I already got one prize, so I was, and then I say, what? And then I say, okay, yeah, because she's the one that will say, just stand up just to make me go and do funny of me. So I say, yeah, sure. And then she said, go, go. So that was another thing.
That's hilarious.
Again, English.
That's hilarious.
English is, yeah. And the Georgian accent, which I love.
You've talked about bringing your product line a little more focused going forward. In doing that, how many different retailers, places are you selling outside of farmers markets? Do you have an idea?
As I told you, I'm backing up a lot. Like my vision I figured when I won that prize, I start going to Kroger big, and my passion start becoming a business. Mm-hmm. So it became more, I didn't have time to experiment, didn't have more time to spend with my kids, single moms on here by with them. So I need to take care of them. So I start figure it out, you put a balance, and I say, this is no life, you know? You're living, what do you say? You're, instead of working for a living, you're living to work.
Yeah.
No. The first thing I criticized when I came here in America was that.
Yeah.
The people were all the time busy. Mm-hmm. They didn't have time for family or friends, and I became one. Mm-hmm. So I started working.
We're sorry.
Yeah. No, but I love it here. I love it. Yeah. And it's a lot of stores, and I love that. Mm-hmm. Coming Charlie. Yeah. They're just focused on local.
Yeah. Yeah,
on
the local
Georgia
boutique
Grown,
shops.
yes,
Yep.
I'm part of Georgia Grown. I'm really proud of them. I mean, I'm a lot who I am today thanks for all their help. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that's more value to be in a store where you know they care about your product, and it's not another product sitting in a shelf.
Yeah.
So I'm not that much. I'm focused also more my time in online sales too. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to start doing my passion, that was the cooking again, and forming a community, recipes, writing recipes, filming, how to,
I would love to watch your show if you're filming a show.
Yeah, I hope you understand.
So much
something.
Fun.
Yeah, that's, I started with cooking was my passion, and then it became like a business. So now I'm, sometimes you just stop and say, okay, where I'm going, you
went up the mountain, now you're coming back down the mountain.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
What's one of your favorite places to be around the North Georgia area? I know you said you're in the kitchen all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're thankful you're in the kitchen a lot.
Well, I love Talonega. I love to go to Amicalola.
Amicalola, good job.
Amicalola.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I love that part of the mountains. Blue Ridge is so unique. Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous, and I just love it there.
Normally, I would go to something I like to do in every episode is called the lightning round, which is a question that doesn't have to do with anything. But since you have been to places around the world that I've never been to, what is my lightning round question? Will be simple. It'll be, what is one of your favorite places if you could go back to, where you would go and why?
Capri.
Yeah. I've never been, so you got to tell me what it's like. You got to sell me on it.
It's an island. I mean, it can be really confused in summer for all the tourists, but it does the down area, the tourist area, but up, the mountains, not everybody live there. It goes over there, tourist, because you have to go. You don't have cars in the island, so everything is walking. So a lot of the tourists in summer, they don't want to go.
There's no cars
climb.
on the island?
No.
Everybody's
Actually, the
walking.
ambulance, you will laugh because they're
that's why all the tourists stay at the beach, because they're too out of shape. They can't walk up the mountains.
Well, my kids used to sell lemonade, outside the house, because they say, oh, they're coming here, and they were all sweating because I say lemonade to everybody. And we have all the lemons over there in Capri. I think it's because, the ambulance, there are golf carts.
No.
Yeah, we don't, So it's funny. I mean, you can arrive until the piazza, the square, with car, but they're stopped.
Yeah.
There's no more roads or anything, so you just little tiny.
So, about how big is the island?
I don't know how much in
Kilometers, yeah.
whatever, but you can go around the island, you just less than one day. I mean, you just,
Okay.
yeah.
So small
But
island.
It's a small island, really. It's really famous.
Okay.
I've seen all the people that I have not seen in my life. I've seen them there. But what I love for it is that I think is because you don't have, the cars, you don't have all that. You have the beach. For me, it's important being around the beach and the ocean, the fish, and I don't know. I love the little streets, and just my kids grew up there, and they love it because they could stay until it's secure because it's an island. I mean, you cannot go anywhere. Nobody's gonna, know. So they can be secure. They were going to fish until midnight, 1. They just came, they were like 5 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
And they came back home by themselves. So I think I love that. Everybody knows each.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is not good.
Yeah. That's right.
Because not
everybody
your
behave.
Yeah, but it is like a big family,
Yeah.
So I think that will be it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. You have to go.
You got me excited. I want to go now.
It's gorgeous. Yes.
How do you get there? What's the closest airport?
Well, you can get to Naples.
Naples. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the closest point where you can get there is from Sorrento.
Okay.
But then the more important big city is Napoli. It's Naples, and you get there or a boat or aliscafo that is more quicker.
Okay.
You can take the boat is cheaper, but it takes like 30 minutes. 1 hour instead of from Sorrento, you can get in 20 minutes or 15.
Yeah,
it's much less. I mean, from Sorrento you can see Capri if the day is clear.
Okay, I want to go now.
Yeah, so you go to Napoli.
Yes,
and from there you go the boat.
Okay, done.
And you take me with me. You take me with you.
Well, I'll come to you because I need a tour guide first. So you've got, we've talked about your product line. You have won multiple awards in multiple categories, been finalists for multiple things in different categories. You've been in Southern Living Magazine, AJC, Taste of South, all these different publications, kind of since you got started because your stuff is so good that it is growing. I had no idea you're in 150 different retailers, probably more than that now. How do people who are just finding out about you for the first time, how do they get connected with you? How do they find your stuff? Do you have accounts on social media? How do they get in touch with you?
Through the website, altacucinaitalia.com.
Okay.
I think it's the best place where you can find, because not all the store, because there are so many products and lines and flavors that not all the store can carry. I'm sorry, everything.
Yep.
So online you can find all the products there.
Okay. So you've got the oils, the balsamics, the pestos,
tomato sauce, balsamic jams,
and what else?
I have salts, seasoning
yes.
blends and salts.
I need to get those because when my family is not a big fish family.
Really?
I love fish, and I'm like, that's how you fix fish for people who don't like fish.
Yeah.
You put some of that on there, and then you put some of the balsamics or the oils on.
I want to see if I have. I have this Cinque Terre. I love it. Cinque Terre. I have lemon, sea salt, Sicilian sea salt, lemon, and oregano.
Ooh.
I love that with fish.
Yeah, that's
a little bit of garlic.
Good combination.
So I will say online, and I'm trying to come back when I have time to do my blogging. I used to, when I started, I was doing recipes and stuff like that. Now, as I told you, this became a business. So but I'm trying to go back to that. Social media, I'm more on Instagram because it's easier for me because I don't have to write that long, so people won't know. Oh, how bad she write English, So Facebook is for me not that much because you have to write more. Yeah. I love pictures. I think a picture express 1,000 words. So Instagram, but you can order through the website.
Okay. Okay. And for those of you listening, I will have the links to that on the post that I do for the account. But also, if you have any questions, you can always email us, and that'll be at the end of the episode. So that's kind of all I got. You have created a desire in me to go to Capri, which is got to happen. That's now on the bucket list.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of the product lines. Literally for a small initial purchase, you could have enough flavors and variety and seasonings to last a month or two in different combinations and have a different, like you said, have a different meal at every meal. Yeah. So there's not a whole lot that excites me more than eating good food at every meal. So I may have a problem, but I'm okay.
And you can start with appetizer, like with the crema. You can start with appetizer and stop some bruschetta.
Oh yeah.
Then you go to the meat or whatever with that on top, your veggies, and then you can even go to dessert, ice cream or strawberries with that on top. Yeah, so you have your own
It's
meal.
a 5-course serving.
Exactly. Yes. There you go.
Well, I know I don't want to take up any more time. I certainly don't want to keep you out of the kitchen. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. And I know
thank you
you
so
are going to
much.
change some people's taste buds in the months and years ahead. So
I hope. That's my passion. That's what I want. I would love to accomplish.
Good deal. Thanks so much for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you.
This is the North Georgia Life Podcast. Embrace life where you live.